In fact, let's get Siddhartha Khemka, the head retail research at Motilal Oswal Financial Services, who joins in. And in a bit, my colleague Upasna will also be with us to tell us what are the individual stocks to look at. Siddharth, hi, good morning. The first stock I wanted to talk about was Hero MotoCorp. Numbers came in post-market hours and very good set of numbers, double-digit growth on the two-wheeler sales. How are you poised on that stock?
Yeah, hi, good morning. So I think overall, the entire auto path numbers were much better than the expectations, and that is something that was quite good to see after the strong GDP data and again yesterday the strong GST collection. So especially if you look at Hero, the challenges were more on the rural side where things have not been kind of improving, and that is where a lot of street was a bit on the concern, and that is why the valuations were a bit off compared to some of the other two-wheeler stocks. But if you look at our view has been pretty strong on the entire two-wheeler space. We believe that the company would post a double-digit revenue growth for the FY25, and that would the company is also aiming to outperform the industry with new launches. So that puts it in a better spot compared to some of the others, plus the valuation comfort that Hero Moto brings in. And to add to it, any recovery in the rural side, that would only add to the overall growth that we are expecting for the stock. So overall, I think Hero Moto, which is a pure play domestic two-wheeler stock with a stronghold in the entry-level 100cc motorcycle segment, it has low vulnerability to the penetration of the two-wheelers EVs right now. And hence, we believe this is much better placed compared to some of the others. So we have a positive view on Hero, which is our preferred pick within the two-wheeler space. We have a buy rating and a target of 5560.
Siddharth, the big movers, we were discussing it earlier on, but I just want to point it out again that the big movers in the frontliners is the auto stocks, especially the two-wheelers. We discussed Hero MotoCorp briefly, but I wanted your thoughts on some of the other names, whether it's Bajaj Auto, where exports have recovered, whether it's TVS Motor, which is seeing a 20% plus growth. Any thoughts here? I think you're on mute, Siddharth. I can't hear you.
Yeah, I was on mute. So so overall, if you look at the auto monthly sales data, two-wheeler numbers have been pretty strong and above estimate, led by Hero Moto, TVS, and Royal Enfield. Bajaj Auto was in line with estimates, and we saw domestic overall growth being about 21%, while exports saw a strong recovery of 36%, and domestic growth has been healthy. But if you look at some of the exports, that is kind of recovering. So in terms of view, I will believe that, again, going back to the same thought process, that we continue to like Hero Moto, which is our preferred pick within the two-wheeler space, given its comfortable valuation, while TVS continues to do well and has a good penetration within the two-wheeler electric space. Valuations have moved to a level where we believe that the upside could be capped or limited, and there is more risk reward is favorable to a Hero Moto compared to a TVS Motor.
Siddharth, these hospital names, any thoughts? Names like Max and Medanta and Narayana Hrudayalaya, there's Yatharth, Rainbow. Rainbow, of course, I think is not as affected as a children's hospital, but the others all corrected quite a bit. Any thoughts?
Yeah, Prashant. So I think in any sector, a regulatory overhang or a policy change definitely puts in a lot of pressure. And what the Supreme Court advisory to the government was to formulate a policy or a structured process where or a standardization charges that these hospitals could put in. So this could definitely kind of put a limit to or a structured way to how they could charge. We had seen sometime back, few years earlier, how the government had put a pricing policy for the domestic pharma companies and how the growth got limited in the pricing pressure in the domestic market. So that is a big overhang. But we believe that in the healthcare space, there is less of room for the government to do a lot of things, because the demand is far outpacing the supply, and government alone cannot provide the healthcare services, which a lot of these private players have to provide. So I think in the near term, there could be some overhang because until the clarity emerges of what the government stance is. But if you look at the numbers in terms of fundamentals, we like within the healthcare space, hospital is something that we have been liking a lot. Apollo Hospitals is the top one, but even a Max Health, we see the expansion. We have seen the realizations improving and the occupancy also. And with the expansion plans and the growth, we believe both Apollo as well as Max Healthcare could continue to do well, bearing this short-term phenomena. I think in the long term, these would again come back in investors' interest.
Okay, all right. So we leave it there. Thanks very much, Vaibhav. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Appreciate you joining us with some of that perspective. Thank you.